bring up Regional Director Jay Cosme.
Hello. First off, we're going to go ahead and play a video for you guys before we get started. But before we do that, please help me give it back up to Dayla Bishop. I don't think too many people understand. I think the majority of the people in this room today might be on Dayla and Wes's team. So they're amazing leaders in this business. So again, help me give it back up to them.
Cost-conscious consumers are introduced to new ideas and technologies that help us live smarter and make life easier. Consider this idea. All of these exciting innovations have one thing in common: power. And even though stoves, refrigerators, and air conditioners are more efficient today than they were 35 years ago, the increased number of new modern home and personal electronics means that we use about the same amount of energy as in 1978. Our appetite for electronic devices to make our lives more fun and homes more comfortable will drive the American family to triple the number of energy-hungry devices they own over the next 2 decades. And it's not just at home that technology is making an impact. As consumers, we don't question the magical abilities of our vital modern electronic devices. As entrepreneurs, maybe we should. Since the dawn of the Industrial Revolution, businesses found new ways to replace people power with technology. We are already willing participants. Digital music downloads were the swan song for music stores. Digital photography with the lights out on 24-hour photo finishing. Even our money has gone digital with ATMs and online banking eliminating the need for bank tellers. We as a society are making smarter, more efficient choices every day. And as we engage in this new digital landscape, jobs in retail, shipping, distribution, and manufacturing are shifting and evolving at an alarming rate. Momentis sees this evolution another way, investing in the power of people first. No matter what happens in the future economy, the power lines will always be there, and the key driving it all is you. The future of how we interact with each other and do business is already in your hands. The opportunity to work with like-minded people who you can help earn extra money on something they are already using is a plan that everyone can do and everyone can do well. The deregulation of electricity and power has broken the lock of traditional utility monopolies and now allows all of us to earn money serving the energy needs of the millions of customers throughout the world. Momentis is thinking beyond the power lines by also offering additional essential services, helping people understand that the real power is in our own buying power, and helping people make the right choices can unleash the power to our financial freedom. Momentis is a company that is thinking beyond today and can show you how to leverage a smart idea by earning an income from the power of who you know. Connect with the person who shared this extraordinary idea with you. They believe in your ability to think beyond. Momentis, thinking beyond today.
How's everybody doing tonight? Great. Come on, it's Thursday, it's almost Friday. How's everybody doing tonight? Great. Good. Again, a little bit about myself. My name is Jay Cosme, and I'm 25 years old. I'm from Grand Prairie. Graduated from South Grand Prairie High School in 2004, and then I got my marketing degree from Northwood University in 2008. Prior to last Monday, the last 3.5 years, I had worked as a sales rep for a freight company. I also own my own clothing line. I do event promotions, and I run a social networking website, so I'm always busy. About 4 months ago, my cousin, who's right here, we were working together at the time, and he approached me. He was like, "Look, Jay, I have something I want you to see." I'm not a closed-minded person, but I told him, no, I'm not interested. The last time Omar told me he had something he wanted me to see, we had spent $1,500 to get into a business where we had to get these people to buy this powder from us every single month. Might not have been bad, but this powder was $100 a month. So we were going to our friends and family, telling them, hey, look, we need you to get on this auto ship. It's going to bill your credit card every month for $100, but you're going to support us. We're going to be rich, and we're going to support you in the end. Nobody we knew got on the auto ship. Omar's mom bought it from him once. My parents bought it from me once, and I looked at Omar like, look, we spent $1,500. What is the next step? We quickly found ourselves doing presentations at old folks' homes, trying to convince these old people, hey, look, y'all need this powder so y'all can live longer. To make a long story short, it didn't work. Not that the company didn't work, it just didn't work for us. So when he told me he had something he wanted me to see, I was like, look, man, I'm not interested. Him being the persistent guy that he is, he always gets mad when I say he's persistent, but he's a very persistent guy. So for 2 weeks straight, every single day he asked me, Jay, look, I just need 30 minutes of your time. And every day I told him no. But it got to the point where I realized he wasn't going to stop asking me until I went and saw what he had. I went to his house. I sat down at his kitchen table with a gentleman by the name of Quincy Jones. He asked me the most important question anybody had ever asked me. He said, Jay, what's more important to you, your job or your family? I said, that's easy. Of course, my family. He said, why do you spend more time at work than you do with them? I said, honestly, that's all I know how to do is trade hours for dollars. He said, what if I showed you a way to flip the two, where you spend the majority of your time with your family and you gave the world what's left over? I said, I'm definitely interested. He said, first, you have to understand how money is made. He said, money is currency, and currency means to flow. If you don't understand how it's made, it'll flow by you for the rest of your life. So I said, okay. He said, look, there's two ways and two ways only me and you can make money legally. First way is active income, trading hours for dollars. You go to work, you get paid. You go to work, you get paid. You go to work, you get paid. You don't go to work,
don't get paid.
And you can have more degrees than a thermometer and be fired or laid off at any given time. Nothing to us is promised or guaranteed. I call that the 40-40 plan. You work 40 hours a week for 40 years and hope to retire. Well, everyone in here, when you leave, can go to SSA.gov. It stands for Social Security Administration.gov. They've been keeping track of employees since the beginning of the industrialized revolution. A shocking statistic, 95% of Americans when they hit the age of 65 are either dead or broke. And I did everything my parents told me to do like Antoine. Went to college, graduated, worked for a successful company. But retirement comes with money, not age. My father's 51 years old, been a mailman 25 years out here in Dallas. He told me, son, I have to continue working another 20 years before I can even think about retirement. Second way to earn income is passive residual income. By a show of hands, who understands what passive residual income means? Okay. For those of you that don't, it means doing something once, getting paid over and over and over again. A best-selling author writes a book once. That's all he did. He wrote the book one time, but every time we buy that book, he gets paid. A musician writes a hit song once. Every time that record is played, every time we buy that album, they get paid. Elvis Presley has generated more income dead than he did alive off songs he did way back when. Keep that in your mind as we go along. 98% of Americans generate income actively. Only 2% generate income passive residually. I'll tell you this story and we'll get started. Antoine talks about life and life happening. Life happened to me in August. I found out my grandmother, who pretty much raised me, I was with my grandmother from 6 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night growing up. My father worked 2 jobs. My mom worked, went to school at night. So I was with her all the time. She has 2 daycare centers in Grand Prairie, so I was her running mate. I found out she had Alzheimer's. And it was tough. But then in October, it got so bad that she didn't realize who we were anymore. So imagine going to your mother, the person that raised you, and she not even recognizing who you are. She just thinks I'm some neighbor, somebody coming to keep her company. And it was hard. But the hardest part about it was seeing my father, who was already putting my brother through school, helping my mother go back to school. All the bills on the table, have to dish out an extra $900 a week for a part-time stay-at-home nurse for my grandmother. Life happened to us. But 25 years ago, my grandmother had a vision. She had a vision. And she had an opportunity, and she took advantage of it. Now, 25 years later, life happened to us, but because she took that opportunity and ran with it, it allows us to make sure she's taken care of without missing a beat. That being said, we'll get started. And I tell people, I love this quote by Douglas MacArthur. There's no security on earth, there's only opportunity, and that's exactly what this is. It's an opportunity. What you decide to do with it is up to you. But my definition of POOR, P-O-O-R, stands for passing over opportunities repeatedly. And I'm a firm believer opportunities aren't passed over, they're just passed on to the next person. We're going to be talking about deregulation. I'll give you some brief history. The airlines industry deregulated in the 1970s, gave birth to companies like Southwest Airlines. I couldn't take advantage of it. I wasn't even a thought in my parents' mind in the 1970s. Same thing happened to the telecom industry, deregulated, gave birth to companies like Sprint. By a show of hands, who's in here, who's familiar with a company called Excel Communications? Excel Communications was responsible for producing the most millionaires out of any one single company in American business history, and they did it off the deregulation of the telecom industry. Well, right now, energy is being deregulated. So between now and 2015, different states across the nation are going to open up and allow consumers the opportunity to choose a lower cost provider. When I heard about it, I was like, well, what does that mean to me? So everybody asked, what does that mean to me? When one company is responsible for producing something that everyone has to have, what can that company charge you? Whatever they want. If you currently pay a gas bill in Texas, gas is not deregulated, so you pay at most, or what I like to call pay most, because they can charge you whatever you want. You don't have a choice. The same thing was the case before 2002. If you lived in our area, you either had TXU or you were using candles. You didn't have a choice. The state came in and said, you know what, TXU, we're not going to allow you to keep charging customers whatever you want. Senate Bill 7 was passed. It deregulated the market. Simple economics. When you have competition, it brings prices down. I'll quote Warren Buffett. This is not me saying it, because if I said it, no one would probably care or pay attention. But Warren Buffett said the deregulation of energy will be the largest transfer of wealth in our nation's history, and it's happening right now. Who are we? We are Momentis, and Momentis is simply the marketing arm for Just Energy, or what I like to call the customer gathering division. Just Energy is not on trial. They're a $3 billion a year company, publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange and the Toronto Stock Exchange. 3.6 million customers on the books. It gives them the largest North American footprint out of any one single company. They swallowed TXU and Reliant combined. The reason why Warren Buffett said the deregulation of energy will be the largest transfer of wealth, it's a $500 billion a year industry. And I said billion with a B because we throw that word out like it's nothing these days. So if you counted 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, it'll take you about 2.5 weeks to reach your first million. It will take you over 33.5 years to reach your first billion, and it's a $500 billion a year industry. You don't have to have a slice of that pie. If you just lick the knife they cut it with, you're going to put yourself in great position financially. You're truly at the right place at the right time. This company could have started anywhere in their entire world, and their corporate office here in the United States is here in Dallas, Texas, right across the street. Deregulation could have happened at any time in our lifetime, and it's happening now. So from 18 to 80, everyone has the opportunity to take advantage of what we're doing. By a show of hands, I like seeing people raise their hand. By a show of hands, knowing what we know now, who would have got into Google before Google launched? Raise your hands. Knowing what we know now, of course. This is a $1 billion a year company that just launched their marketing arm. Like Antoine says, when's the best time to get on a plane? In the ground or in the air? On the ground. This plane is at the terminal. We're taking people now. We're loading. Everyone has a first class ticket. Do not have a coach class mentality because you will miss your opportunity. Some of the services that we offer, I'll touch on a few. Just Energy, of course. DirecTV, largest cable provider in the United States. Clear Wireless, fastest 4G. M-Game, this is going to be something that's revolutionizing video games. It's going to be like the Netflix of video games. M-Digital, ADT that we just announced is very, very major. All these services. And that's just to name a few. Just Energy is currently licensed in 14 states and 5 provinces in Canada. The states that pop up in blue are all the states that we're allowed to go gather energy customers in. What I love about this business is, with DirecTV, with Clear, and all the other services that we offer, it allows us to do business in all 50 states. I call that ubiquity, which is a fancy term to be at many places at one time. Our #1 money earner came from California before we launched energy in California. This was somebody making $50,000 a week just off of DirecTV. It goes to show you the power of our business structure. Our company does things a little bit different. I was a marketing major in college, so I understood most traditional businesses do traditional advertising, billboards, banners, and radio advertisements. In college, we called that hopeful marketing because they hope that you drive down 75 on your way home, see that big billboard, and go home and become their customer. It's not very effective, but most companies do it anyway. Our company says, you know what, we're going to take you. The most effective form of marketing is word of mouth. My cousin Omar tells me, hey, look, Jay, I just saw this Tyler Perry movie. I think it's great. You should go check it out. I'm going to go check it out. But Paramount Pictures is not going to send Omar a check. Our company says all we want you to do is sit down with a few people. Friends, family, those who love and owe you the most, and ask them to become your energy customer. If you decide to do what we do, learn from my mistakes. First person I went to outside of myself was my father. I didn't tell my father, hey, look, Dad, I'm doing this business to help alleviate some of the stress that you have financially. I just told him, hey, look, Dad, I'm doing some work for Just Energy. I need to become my customer. My dad told me no. I said, what? He said, yeah. He said, it's a scam. You're going to jail. Don't call me to bail you out. I looked at him. I'm like, are you serious? I looked at my mom. She said, baby, don't worry. I'm going to talk to him. Went to my mom's parents. I said, hey, who are you paying on your energy bill? They said, TXU. I was like, yes. He said, why are you getting all excited? I said, well, you're paying too much on your energy bill. I'm going to save you money, and you're going to help me build a business. They said, no. I said, what? They said, yeah, we've been with TXU our whole life. I said, I've been your grandson your whole life. I need you to become my customer. Why don't you want to become my customer? They said, well, when our lights go out, TXU puts us up first before everybody else. That's the biggest misconception. When your lights go out, it's one company that puts everybody back up. What company is that? I simply explained to them, hey, look, nothing's going to change for you but the name on the bill. I'm going to save you money on something you're already going to have to pay, and you're going to help me build a business. Once they understood that, they became my customer. I got a couple other customers, and I was out of the customer gathering business. A month later, my aunt called me and said, hey, look, Reliant came knocking on my door. They told me they cut my rates by 10% and gave me $100. I'm thinking, oh, I lost a customer. She said, I said, what did you tell me? She said, I told them I'm already saving money and I'm helping my nephew build a business. The power of a sticky customer. In December, I started getting these nice checks rolling in with a comment, and I get a call from my dad, and he said, hey, look, I hear you get some of these nice checks coming in. He said, you know, you're going to break me off a little bit, Dad? And I said, you know what, Dad, I remember asking you for a favor way back when. And he looked at me, are you going to do me like that? I went to the house, I explained to him, look, Dad, this is why I'm doing this business. I said, you have all this pressure on you, and I have the opportunity to relieve some of that pressure. All I need you to do is become my customer. I'm not asking you to buy this powder that you don't have to have. I'm asking you to save money on something you're already going to have to pay. He became my customer. It's the power behind a sticky customer. My father is Just Energy's customer, but he's my customer. He's not going anywhere. There's nothing TXU or Reliant can do to buy my father back because he understands the importance of that. I'll tell you right now, I remember it was the first Friday in February, and Antoine's here, Omar's here, they can tell you about it. It was Thursday night going into Friday. And I was having trouble sleeping, so I woke up, it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. I pulled up my phone because it's Friday. I want to know how much I have in my bank account, you know? Trying to figure out if it's going to be a good weekend or not. So I look, and it was bright. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. My room is real dark, and I look at the phone and I said, this can't be right. I go to the computer, log into my account, and I see this direct deposit from Momentis. Whew! Yeah! I emailed my boss at work. I said, sorry, sir, I have this real bad eye problem. I'm not going to be able to come into work today. Went back to sleep. Rolled over. I remember I said, I can't go back to sleep. I text Omar, I text Tim, I text Antoine. I told him, hey, look, I just texted my boss. I got this much money in my bank account from Momentis. I said, I told my boss, look, I got this eye problem. I didn't tell him I couldn't see myself going back to work after seeing the check like that. I just told him I had an eye problem. Now, my father's birthday was coming up. And he told me, son, I always tell you never to get me something, and you always get me something anyway. And he said, I'm going to Orlando for my class reunion with your mom. Whatever money you were going to spend on me, just give me that money. It's going to help out. I said, okay. About 9 o'clock, I woke up, pulled out my checking account, my checkbook, wrote a check with a comment. Went to my dad's house. I knew he was off that day. I remember like it was yesterday, walking into that kitchen, he was there on a computer. And I put that check down on that computer. And he looked at me, he looked at the check, he looked at me, he looked at the check, and he took off. All I heard was, lock up! I told him, I said, man, what are you doing? He said, look, son, I know you and I know your finances. If I don't cash this check now, this money's not going to be in there. So I tell you that. Now, he used to always call me and say, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing tonight, son? I ain't seen you. I said, oh, I'm going to a meeting. He said, man, you got more meetings than the president. I said, yeah. Well, on Monday, when I went back to work, it was around lunchtime, he called me and said, hey, man, you got any more of those Momentis meetings this week? I said, yeah, Dad. I tell you that because we get to earn substantial income in this company. Troy Aikman endorses one of our competitors. He doesn't do it because he loves that company. There's no Fendi, Gucci, Prada, or Mercedes-Benz of electricity. It's all the same. He does it because he gets a check. We get a check, but we get to help other people get a check, and it's such a blessing. We have a very simple business plan. Our CEO understands simplicity breeds duplication. 2 things and 2 things only that we do. We enroll a couple customers, and we teach others to do the same exact thing. I asked Quincy, I said, Quincy, what's the key to being successful in this business? He said, don't reinvent the wheel. We have a simple business plan, follow it. And I hear Antoine all the time say, hey, look, there's nothing wrong with being a copycat as long as you copy the right cat. So I'm blessed that I was able to sit back there where you're sitting now and take notes from the Antoine McVeys, the Tim Sparkmans, the Reggie Franklins, and just listen and be able to present this information to you. But I'm telling you right now, you never have to do what I'm doing. Enroll a couple customers, teach others to do the same exact thing. It's that simple. Now, when it comes to making money in this industry, in this business, let me ask Omar. Omar, if they told you you can learn from anybody in the basketball realm on how to become a great basketball player, who would you pick? Michael Jordan. Chris, if you're playing golf, Chris said he picked to learn from Tiger Woods. They told me, Jay, you can learn from anybody in this business on how to make money. It's this next guy I'm about to bring up. Top 10 money earner. He's a national director. When I tell you something, look at this. He's been featured on the cover of numerous magazines. Featured. This is Success Magazine. This is not just some regular magazine. This is Success Magazine. This man has a whole article, a whole page on him in Success Magazine. Elite News Businessman of the Year. Take your notepads out, buckle your seatbelts, get ready. On the count of 3, I want everybody to say, show me the money, Antoine. 1, 2, 3.
Show me the money, Antoine.
Help me welcome National Director, Antoine McVey.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Good
evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Before I get started, you know, Jay said some incredibly nice things about me. And just to be quite honest with you, what we're sharing with you, it's really not about Antoine McVey. It's about what it could do for you and your family. But I got to tell you, I've got a lot of respect for the young man. He's one of our up-and-coming leaders. He's reached that position of regional director in an incredible time. He's building an incredible business. So if there's anyone that deserves a round of applause, let's get back to Jay Cosby. A little bit about myself. I'm from Dallas, Texas, born and raised. I grew up in Oak Cliff. I went to high school at Kimball High. Any Kimball Knights in the house? Yeah, I got some Kimball Knights in the house. Excellent. What I basically tried to do, as Jay said, every single thing my mother told me to do, which was go to high school, graduate high school, go into college, graduate college, and get a good job. Can anybody relate to that?
Yes.
I almost did those things. I did graduate from high school, but I'm a firm believer we all have dreams and goals when we graduate high school. Yes or yes?
Yes.
My dream was to play professional football. And obviously the man upstairs didn't have that plan for Antoine McVey. I was fortunate to go to school to play the game that I love, but 2 weeks after I graduated high school, my mother passed away at the age of 37 with breast cancer. I had a 6-year-old brother at the time. And since I could no longer play the game that I loved that was in my heart due to a knee injury, I decided to quit college, come home and work, and help support my grandmother, help support my brother. And that's when I was introduced to traditional corporate American structure. And just through life experiences, I found out very quickly nothing is promised in traditional corporate American structure. Can anybody relate to that one?
Yeah.
I mean, I had my fair share of working for one particular company for about 9 years to be called into the office, and they tell me they were doing some restructuring, which simply meant I was unemployed. I didn't know that. I'd never heard that word. I mean, I didn't sign up for that class. And then I went to work for a competitor doing the exact same thing I was doing with the previous company for half the income, and 2 years later they went out of business. So I found myself looking for a job again. So ever since then, I've just always kept my options open to ways of earning extra income. And I'll be the first to share with you here. This is not about anyone stop doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. But I also think it's safe to say, if we look at our economy today, it dictates everyone having a plan B, yes or yes?
Yes.
We could all right now go out and buy a brand new car, because with 4 brand new tires, but they still put a spare in the back. Because nowadays, you just never know when you may need to pull out that spare tire. The Momentis opportunity could be your spare tire. However, it has full-time income potential. that could create choices in your life where you can decide what you want to do, when you want to do it, and even more importantly, who you want to do it with. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, let me just share with you, there are no guarantees of income here. You have to work hard in this business. Some of our top income earners have burned the midnight oil, working from 8 to faint. You don't know what that is when you pass out. Building this business, and they've done it maybe a number of years. They've got they're seasoned in the industry of relationship marketing in some cases, but some are just up-and-coming leaders like the Jay Cosme and many others that you'll get a chance to meet. But just know, we're not guaranteeing you anything here. You have to work for it. No different than what you do on your job. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Here's your first clue. $299 gets you in the business. It gets you started. If you don't have $299, whatever you're doing, it ain't working. Really not trying to be funny. I'm giving you a reality check. If you've been working for the last 3 to 5 years and you haven't been able to save a few dollars here and there, if you do as well the next 3 to 5 years, do you think you have it then? Probably not. See, for things to change, you must change. And it starts with the way you think. Change is a door that can only be opened from the inside. The only out-of-pocket expense we have each month is a website, $19.95 a month. Currently, it makes this a paperless business. It takes about 3 minutes to take a customer from TXU to Just Energy, all online. Sends you email alerts. You can run reports on your business. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Tracks everything back in your back office, all right? 5 ways we earn. You can put some money in your pocket immediately. And I know what that means to be able to put some money in your pocket immediately. I've had my ups in life, I've had my downs in life. And when I got started in Momentis in June of 2011, it was a moment in my life when I was down. I had lost everything. I had lost the house. I had lost the car. As a matter of fact, Tim Sparkman gave me a call. I rode DART bus and train right behind this building to the company's corporate office and sat down like some of you and looked at Momentis for the very first time. But I was hungry. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's crowded in Brokeville. I wanted an opportunity. I needed a vehicle. And that's what Momentis provided, a vehicle. And I had to go to work. So we have an opportunity where you can put some money in your pocket immediately. Because I know some of you, like me, $299 looks like $2,999. So in my mind, I'm thinking, what do I need to do to get it back? So we're going to share with you how you do that. Bonus income, which consists of mentor bonuses, my team bonuses, my leadership bonuses, and residual income. The residual is going to take some time to grow. It's not going to happen overnight. Okay? We got to build up our customer base, and over time, we can earn passive, sustainable residual income on services that consumers are going to pay for anyway. But on the way to building that, we can earn on a weekly basis direct deposit every Friday in our account. Let's break it down. Immediate income. Starts with you. It's customer points that pay you. It's customer points that promote you. You can have one customer with several customer points. Well, what do you mean, Antoine? Well, this one customer may be my DirecTV customer. That's one customer, 1 point. That same customer may be my internet customer. They want internet for the home and internet to plug into the USB. That's a pick 2. That's worth 2 points. Same one customer, but now a total of 3 customer points. Then this customer says, I want to save on my energy. And we make them our clean, green, renewable energy customer. That's worth 2 points. Same one customer, and now a total of how many customer points? 5 customer points. Customer points pay you, customer points promote you. Takes a minimum of 3 customer points for you as an independent rep to become qualified to earn income. The website counts as 2. When you enroll 1 additional customer, you become qualified. The company's going to pay you $100. Then we got that?
Yes.
Enroll 1 additional customer, you earn $100. And then the company says, okay, we're going to put an incentive out there for you to go gather more customers quickly. We want customers. And we know that you have valuable customers based on your relationships. My grandmother's my customer. My dad's my customer. My brother's my customer. My best friend's my customer. And he's right. TXU called my brother back and said, guess what? We noticed you switched. We'll save you 10% off your rate and pay you a $150 gift card if you switch back. And my brother said, no. I'm helping my niece who's going to school at the University of North Texas. That's how I support her. He knows why he's my customer. My grandmother knows why she's my customer. They're supporting my daughter at the University of North Texas. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you have valuable customers based on your why. Does that make sense? Okay? So as we go out and gather these handful of customers, when you get 10 customer points, the company's going to pay you an additional $100. But then the company says if you gather 10 customer points within your first 10 days, we're going to pay you a combined total of $1,000. Now, who in here can use an extra $1,000? So for someone like me, looking at this in June, I needed that $1,000 like cat quick. Can I get you to say cat quick?
Cat quick.
Here it is. But you have to do some work to get it. You can't just fall into $1,000. Follow our system. We have a training system. That system is proven. It's predictable. It's profitable. I call it the yellow brick road. If you follow the yellow brick road, you can make it to Oz. Even though we may all want something different from the Momentis opportunity, we can all get what we want. Does that make sense? Yes. When you go out and gather a total of 15 combined customer points, they're going to pay you another $100. Add 5 more customer points for a combined total of 20, they're going to pay you another $100. Also, when you have 20 energy customer points, the company's going to pay you $150 every month MRI, monthly recurring income. That's that residual income that Jay talked about, month after month after month in your account. That's the company's way of saying thank you for bringing us energy customers. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Excellent. Let's talk about the second way that we earn. We can leverage our efforts. This is important to me. I learned some things through life experiences. See, I understand what Jay talks about, life happening. You know, if you don't know, think about it. Watch the movie Lion King. It teaches all of us it's the circle of life. It's not about if, it's about when. Life could be an illness in the family like my mom. Life could be death in the family like my mom. Life could be marriage. Life could be divorce. Life could be a newborn baby. Life could be a child going to college. Life could be a pink slip on your job. Life could be the point in time where you now have to provide for your elderly parents, like I do now. It's not if, it's when. Momentis allows us to leverage our efforts. And you don't have to do what Jay or myself is doing in order to be successful. We've got people that will do that for you. Think about it. The person who invited you here, how hard are they working? Look at it. Some of you were invited by people that are not even here. So the question is, can you do what they are doing? If you can, just do a lot of it. Simply get people under the spout where the information comes out. This is nothing more than an informational spout. Does that make sense? And as you build your business, individuals will get started. This is your my team. When they get paid, you get paid. How do they get paid? By getting qualified just like you did. See, people do what you do and not what you say. So when you get qualified, we can teach others how to get qualified following our system. You earn $100 per associate. Right now we've got triple mentor bonus that expires when? Midnight tomorrow. Or midnight tonight. I was trying to squeeze my damn. I guess that didn't work. Midnight tonight. But here's what that means. When that new independent rep gets started, and when they enroll 2 additional energy customers, the company's going to pay triple mentor. That's $300 per associate. So you can go out and introduce a few people, getting them under the spout. And by the way, there's all type of informational spouts. Online, webinars, video DVDs. Is everyone with me? And meetings like this that are taking place all across the country. But you earn $300, $300, $300. So that's a potential $1,900 on the table. Who can use an extra $1,900? Part-time, spare time, right? Grow your My Team from 3 to 6. Any combination of 6, you promote to our first leadership position. That position is called Senior Director. With all the senior directors in the house, please stand. Wow. Wow. In my opinion, the senior director position is the most important position in our compensation structure. It means it's working. No one can go to the senior director and say, you know what, that business is not working. That's not going to work. If they're sitting down with you and they're sharing you this opportunity, you say, oh, that don't look like that's going to work. They're going to say, okay, thank you very much. It was nice meeting you. Next. Is everyone with me? Here's what it means to be a senior director. You now earn $150 for every independent associate that you personally introduce. When they get qualified, guess what? $150. So if I'm you, and I'm introducing everyone over here, 150, 150, 150. You can introduce as many as you like to collect the 150. But see, here's where the business get past you. Here's where you can leverage your efforts. There's 24 hours in a day. We can't work all 24. And if you're working 2 and 3 jobs, 2 and 3 jobs are for 2 and 3 people. That dog ain't gonna hustle. But now we can leverage our efforts. Row 1 introduce people on row 2. Raise your hand, row 2. They live in California. Row 2 introduce people on row 3. Raise your hand, row 3. They live in Pennsylvania. Row 3, introduce row 4. Unlimited levels deep as new people joining your senior director team. You're going to earn the senior director coded bonus. That bonus is 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. Tracked in real time, sending you email alerts. Would you cash that check?
Yes.
See, when they gather a customer, the money is being released. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Excellent. When you help 4 others promote to senior director, it's all about lifting others up. To lift you up, you must be on higher ground. Senior directors are on a higher ground looking for like-minded people. Help 4 people promote to SD, you can promote to RD. With all the RDs in the house, please stand. Regional director. And what's interesting, I know some of them, I've had a chance to get to meet some of these individuals. They're working at part-time. Mars Field, stand up, Mars. Mars, he delivers mail for the post office. How long have you been delivering mail?
16 years.
16 years. You work this business part-time, spare time.
Yes, sir.
And he reached regional director. Mars Field, give him a hand. Cindy, she works at TI. People would think, that's a great company, which it is. But she works this business part-time and she's reached the position of regional director. Let's give her a hand for Cindy. Again, just up-and-coming leaders, there's many more. But here's why they're so excited, okay? Regional directors start earning what's called My Team bonuses. Remember the first 3 people that you introduced? Well, guess what? You earn 25% check match of all the bonus code money that they earn. How many of you have referred someone to a job before? You know, your company was hiring, or you knew someone was hiring, you referred people to a job. Raise your hand if they keep paying you today. Momentis is going to reward us for introducing others. And you can mess around and introduce a few people, and you earn 25% check match of all their code money for the rest of your LIFE as long as we're working this business. When these 3 select their 3, that's 9 new people on your level 2 that you earn an additional 10% check match. Those 9 find their 3, that's 27 new people. You don't have a clue who they are, you don't know where they are. Guess what? You earn an additional 10% check match. Here's the most unique thing. You don't even have to understand it all. Just know that it means more money, more money, more money. It traps it in your back office WM center. But as a regional director, I'm you, newly promoted regional director. So here's our senior director team over there, and it's growing. Even this time next year, it's growing all across the country. Now we're regional director. It's like opening up a new franchise. We're going to build a new team. And I introduce everyone on this row. As a regional director, 250, 250, 250, 250, 250, 250, 250. Row 1, introduce row 2, row 2, row 3. Unlimited levels deep as new people joining your RD team. You're earning the regional director coded bonus. That bonus is 150, 150, 150, 150, 150, 150, 150. Unlimited levels deep, once again tracked in real time. So now we've got our senior director team, $50 bills coming in. We've got our RD team, $150 bills coming in. And now we're going to help 4 people promote to RD and you promote to ND. All the national directors in your house, raise your hand. Stand up, national directors, raise your hand. Okay. I also have some TPC members here, Top Performance Council members. Here's what it means to be a national director. You now earn $300 for every associate you personally introduce. So we've got our senior director team over here, we've got our regional director team over here, and now you promoted to ND, it's like opening up a new franchise. We're going to introduce new individuals. Help them get started, gather some customers. 300, 300, 300, 300, 300. They introduce row 1 introduce row 2. Unlimited levels deep as new people join your ND team. You're going to earn the ND coded bonus. That bonus is 200, 200, 200, 200, 200, 200, 200. Unlimited levels deep, once again tracked in real time. So now we've got an ND franchise growing, if you will, $200 bills coming in. We've got an RD franchise growing, $150 bills coming in. We've got a senior director franchise growing, $50 bills coming in. All of that is paying us simultaneously, direct deposit to your account every Friday. You're getting it now. Based on customers being gathered. Does that make sense? Excellent. Promote 4 people to ND, then you promote to ID, International Director. Guess what? No one's there yet. Jay talked about it earlier. When would you rather board a plane? When it's on the ground or when it's in the air? On the ground. We're just really getting this thing started. Okay? As the International Director, 325 area associate you personally introduced, 225, 225, 225, 225, 225, 225, 225. Sometimes I should lay down. Oh, 225. Oh. I'm just kidding. We have fun too, okay? Let's wrap it up with residual income. It's the slow money, but let me tell you, it's the for sure money. It's based, again, customers being gathered. This is residential accounts. We've got our My Team as it grows, and everyone's gathering customers. Our senior director, our regional director, our ND. At the RD position, they're going to open up the bottom and pay you unlimited levels deep on every customer that's being gathered within your organization. Here's what it looks like in dollars. You went out and enrolled 10 customers personally, $1 per energy account, that's $10. You introduced 3 business partners. Those 3 business partners go gather 10 customers, 30 customers. Now you're being paid on 40 customers. How many did you personally enroll? 10. 10. It's an open book test. 10. Those 30 customers, 50 cents per energy account, $15, you have $25 a month. These 3 business partners, they have their own why they're building this business. So they're going to introduce some others. 10 new business partners on your level 2, whom you don't know. Guess what? They go out and gather 10 customers each, 100 customers. 50 cents per energy account, $50, now you have $75 a month. Let me ask you a question. If $75 was hitting your account every month like clockwork, would you cash it? Yes. Okay, that's all I want to know. As it grows, by the time it gets to your level 4, it's over time. It's not going to happen overnight. Slow money, but for sure money. 100 business partners. How many did you introduce? 3. You introduced 3. It rewards you for what you start, not what you do. You started by gathering 10 customers and introducing 3 people. You don't know what those 3 people are going to do or not do. Does that make sense? 100 reps, 10 customers each, 1,000 customers. Now you're being paid on over 1,300 customers. How many customers did you personally enroll? 10. Are you getting it? $1 per energy account, that's 1,000, that's 1,300. We can really stop right there. How many lives would be impacted if we could show people how to make an extra $700 to $1,000 in passive, sustainable residual income? How many? A lot, right? Would your life be affected? Foreclosures would be prevented if they had an extra $500 a month coming in. And we got a vehicle where we can show families how to do just that. Does that make sense? Yes. By the time we get to the non-energy customers, same example. Unlimited levels deep at the RD position and above. Here we go. More money. You're not going to understand it all. Not in this short presentation. Our objective here is to give you enough information to make an educated decision if we've got something for you or not. But I have the honor and the privilege of introducing an individual that I have an incredible amount of respect for. I mean, he's documented in this industry, and he's helping so many families transform their lives. And he's having a blast doing it. Please help me to welcome our CEO and President, Mr. Andy McLean.
How many people wish that you had sponsored Antoine McVeigh? Huh? Literally one of the best speakers in the industry, no question about it. And I can see that Jay is catching him real quick. Yeah. Great job, Jay. Great job, Antoine. And of course, they're not as pretty as Dayla. Thank you, Dayla, for everything you did. So as you guys can see, that something's happening here. Look around the room a little bit. You feel it? Yeah. So how many of you were at our convention a couple weekends ago? Yeah. Woo! So those of you that weren't, we had a lot happening. We've definitely changed the game here a little bit. We've cranked it up. And we are dead serious about helping you make money. And when we come up here and we present this to you, and we do it everything with the PowerPoint and everything that the show that we put on, we do it because we want to impress you. We want you to be excited. We want you to feel like there's something for you, because there is. You know, in my 18 years of experience in network marketing, I always worry about a couple things. First of all, I worry that people are going to think this is sales, because it's really not. It seems like sales, it sounds like sales, it smells like sales in here right now. You're seeing banners and PowerPoints. But the reality is that it's not. We don't want you to go selling energy. We don't want you to go sell essential home services. We want you, my voice is changing, isn't it, right now? We want you to go out and create a business with people that you know, relationships. We have money. We want to trade you money for good customers. Customers that are going to do it for you. Only so many people in your life right now will do you a favor and become a customer. Now, we're not asking them to do anything different. And for those of you in this audience for the first time, you're already an expert on these services. It's why we chose to do this model right here in front of you. Because everyone in here, whether you like what we say or not, you can walk out of here and go, man, I can't believe I wasted that hour listening to those guys. You're going to go home, and on your way home, you're going to use your phone, right? You're going to get home, you're going to turn on your lights. And you're going to watch TV to try to forget about the presentation. Or you're going to get online to email somebody and tell them how you wasted your time. You're going to be using all the services that we But the reality is, it's not for everybody. Even though being a customer is, the business isn't. And we were last night, I had the honor and privilege of being with, I was with Tim Sparkman and another TPC member, a couple of TPC members up in Boston, Massachusetts. And while we were up there were 750 people. By the way, they threw down the challenge to Dallas that next week, y'all can't beat what they put together in there. So they want to see if you can beat 750 in a room. But I'll tell you what, it was amazing to be there. The energy coming off that group, no pun intended, was phenomenal. And as we were sitting up there talking about this opportunity, I made this statement that upset some of the people. I made the statement that we're not looking to make friends in Momentis. And I mean, I'm going to tell you, I had some people come after and like, what did you mean by that? Why would you say that? And obviously the lady had not been to our convention because I said it there as well, is that, look, we're not, if it's not for you, it's not for you. We love you, we're glad you came, we'll ask you to be a customer, and it means so much to it. But we know this business isn't for everybody. We're looking for people who are looking for us. We're looking for people who came in the door ready to do something different financially. They didn't have to be talked into it when they got here. They weren't relying on how well the presentation was done, on whether they were going to be ambitious or not. Or whether they wanted to drive a new car, or live in a different house, or have their kids go to a different school. We're looking for the people that already felt that, and they've been walking around or praying, and some people, however you do it, looking for an opportunity, and then you found Momentis. And then when we stand up here, we want you to know one thing, that we're willing to do anything to help you. That we're not standing up here going, we don't want to upset anyone sitting in row 3, seat 8. We don't care about that. Honest to God, we don't. Some people like network marketing, some don't. Some people have a preconceived notion, some don't. I'm not worried about the person who walked in here and said, I read something negative about your company online. So what? So what? I'm being honest with you. 2 years ago, when we started Momentis, almost 2 years ago, I sat in a room, and I was the only representative at the time. And I would sit across from people at a table, and I was at such a place in my life that I didn't care. I could have cared less whatever excuse they came up with not to do the business. I only cared if they came up with a reason to do the business. That's when I cared. I would be talking to somebody like, Omar, here's what we're doing. And he'd say, well, let's talk about what's on. I'd say, see you later, Omar. Nice talking to you. Goodbye. Gotta go. I'd go over to the next one, and I'd go to the next one until I found one who was willing to go to battle with me. Because my family had gone through the hard times. We all make decisions, and you're making a decision tonight that is a big decision. It can be so big. As a matter of fact, I sat there last night, and I was talking to a whole group of people afterwards, and there were like 10 guests standing in this little room, right, in this little area. They're talking to me about it, and this one young lady, she was 19 years old. She's already been a year veteran in network marketing, and she says to me, I feel like I'm being pressured into deciding. And I said, a non-decision is a decision. It is. Sometimes it's the one that nobody recognizes. That you guys, timing matters. It matters so much. If I could talk to all of you individually, take you and teach you everything I've learned in my 18 years, and being in 20-some countries, talking about network, educating people on how to make money residually off services they use all the time. 18 years of it. I would tell you all that you have to find the company at the right time, at the right place. Because you are not good enough. I don't care how good you are. You could be Antoine McVeigh up here presenting. But if the company's on its way down, you do not stand a chance of creating financial freedom. But you could be just average. You could be normal. You could be somebody afraid to present. You could be somebody that doesn't even know what they're talking about and catch a company on the way up and just go for the ride of your life. I've lived that experience. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Other people, maybe you don't get it, but you will. Timing is everything. Thanks, man. Thank you. I was going to say, I would have much preferred it was a woman, but that's okay. Right. This is your cue, women, to yell out that you love me. I think you only get that kind of response when people are making money. I've been involved with opportunities where nobody even liked you. No matter if you stood in front of the room because they didn't have a chance. But in an opportunity like Momentis, people are changing their lives. And that is the real deal. Because when you walk out of here and you have to build a business, you have to have something that happens for you and your family in a positive way.